The fiery turn in the Young and Restless saga that will detonate in Genoa City. Will Nick and Sally regret what they've done after their controversial hookup on Young and Restless? The next workplace tryst between Nick and Sally has been leaked ahead of time on Young and Restless, and boy, oh boy, the repercussions might be quite messy and resound over Genoa City. While the potential impact of her ex-husband walking in on the scenario is evident, at least will be averted as the door is locked in the Young and Restless previews for this week. If Sally had a passionate encounter with Adam at the rooftop bar, how did she end up having sex with Nick in her office? She goes down a road full of trouble, that's for sure. Sally returned to her workplace to find Chloe about to give her an earful for missing a crucial marketing meeting. The chief executive officer reacted predictably badly to her admission that she had been seeing Adam. While the women argued, Nick wanted to talk to Sally privately and inquired why she had not shown up for the meeting. They had a heart-to-heart of sorts, and she promised to put things right after she admitted her wrongdoing, and he warned her that she was on not just thin but cracking ice at the corporation. Nothing more happened between them, as Nick had to leave to advocate for Sally with Victoria, who was already looking at another redhead. When Sally reunited with her angry COO, they got into a heated argument during which Sally defended herself and basically told Chloe to stop talking crap about her former. Chloe stormed out on her, muttering, "I'm done," over her shoulder, as if to add insult to injury to an already trying day. As a result of her interactions with Adam, Nick, and Chloe, Sally is clearly an emotional disaster, and we also know that Nick is grappling with guilt for his role in the death of Ashlyn Locke. A soap opera where something untidy happens, and it does. One day after fighting for the Newman Media CEO one last time with Victoria, Nick will visit Sally in her office, because of course he does, and as Josh Morrow foreshadowed in Sod, it will be a handshake, and touching for the first time, that leads to something intimate happening between them. He continues to make light of the situation by joking that they suddenly kiss, and tear their clothes off and have sex on her office couch. Adam appears at the door at the most inconvenient time. Someone had the wisdom to throw the lock on the door, so he doesn't walk in on his brother and his ex-girlfriend. However, he does shout out her name, which immediately stops the action inside. Polar bears living in isolation adapt to a warming world. Possibly Nick and Sally are just now beginning to realize the gravity of the situation they've put themselves in by giving in to their passion. The next step is to talk about whether or not this is something they both want to pursue, or they regret what they've done. To put it another way, even if they don't feel any remorse now, that could alter when the repercussions of their actions become more apparent. They might not broadcast their tryst from the rooftop bar, but soap opera convention dictates that any secret will eventually be revealed. Adam will quickly put two and two together after experiencing a locked office door and realizing that there has been a shift in the dynamic between his ex and his brother. The most predictable consequence of Nick and Sally having sex will be his reaction, which will likely be interpreted as a great betrayal on both of their parts and may cause him to return to the dark side. After all, Chelsea had just talked him down from that very cliff. Since Sharon has grown close to Nick since and perhaps even before Ray's death, she may feel the impact of the news and return to Adam. It's understandable that Shaddam would run back into each other's arms in times of crisis, with her feeling hurt and vulnerable herself, while she tries to console him or dissuade him from acting hastily. Although Adam's reaction is cause for serious concern, it's important to remember that there are others who will be horrified to learn that Nick and Sally cheated on one another, and who may exploit the information to further their own agendas. We are referring to you, Victoria and Victor. Since becoming CEO of Newman Media, Victoria has been eager to get rid of Sally, and after meeting Nate in Crimson Lights, she seems eager to make him her replacement. Despite the fact that it makes no sense because he is less experienced in the C-suite than Sally, it is easy to picture her misinterpreting Sally's hookup with Nick as an inappropriate attempt to secure her position there and choosing to replace her. Victor has been eager to expose the redhead, but his portrayal of her will likely be negative. Nick is likely to make things worse for them, since it may make it more difficult to terminate Sally and leave them vulnerable to legal action as he is Sally's supervisor. Really a mess. However, the situation worsens from here on out. As if that weren't enough, Nick will also have to answer to the law for something else. It's true that the writers of Young and Restless wanted to bring up the animosity between Sally and Phyllis by having them interact recently. Nick's ex-wife and their daughter Summer would be shocked to learn that he is seeing the woman who helped drive Nick's daughter away from town. Even if a hookup between Nick and Sally would have been shocking while he was with Phyllis, you can bet that sparks will still fly between them now. Not to mention, Kyle is already organizing a surprise wedding redo for Summer, who will, presumably, want her dad to lead her down the aisle. But what if they're on the outs? Also, what if he brings Sally with him? Egad. What kind of chaos do you anticipate when Nick and Sally's affair becomes public knowledge? Leave a comment below and let us know.